Halferland videos.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Halferland videos. If you're an old subscriber, thank you back. Thank you for coming back. If you're new, well, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, this is her. This is my Accord, also known as the 666 AV6, also known as Bertha, also known as Frank Motor. But at the moment right now, I got a couple things to take care of. First things first, I am actually going to upload a new tune onto the car. I do my own tuning now. My tuner was being a little baby. He didn't want to tune my he didn't want to tune an ethanol blend. He said he's never done it and he won't do it. I'm like, okay, that is fine with me then. I'll do it my fucking self. No. Yeah, he did all of my J30 tunes, and then towards the end I went into ethanol and I started tuning myself, and I didn't tell him though, because he does drivability wise. Drivability is a pain in the ass. Wide open throttle is easy. Drivability is easy, or I'm sorry, drivability is hard, and wide open throttle is wide open throttle is a lot easier. So I just let him do that, and I would tune my wide open throttle. But now I kind of slipped, and I told him I wanted to do like an E85 E30 tune and see if he would tune it, and he said no. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it myself. So but it's very, very straightforward, guys. So what I'm looking at here, did I not just save this fucking down? So these are all of my tunes that I've done right here, all NA, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if you've never used Honda Flash Pro before, it's very straightforward. Once you have it obviously hooked up here, just goes into USB. To open a file, you go to Open, File, Open, and then you would click on whatever you want. Currently, I already have mine open, but I would click on the latest one, which is NA17. You would have it worded however you want. But then from there, to upload it, you would click right here on Flash Pro, and then that's telling you everything is connected, security's good, all good checks, green checks. Then you would move over to calibration, and right here this tells you the last calibration that was uploaded, and I'm going to go ahead and hit upload because I already have my calibration open right there. And then you just sit here and you wait, and once it's done, you hit the OK button. I always cycle my key off and then back on, and then I start it just to make sure that the calibration uploaded correctly, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the file will corrupt and it'll be fucked up. Right now I am actually probably going to cut this shaft down because I'm having some issues. My shifter, since I got it back and got it installed, it's been pretty freaking notchy. I've never had that issue. It's been like butter. Like I said, I had the Spec 3 Plus installed. It's not the Throw, it's not the Slave. The pedal feel is spot on. I put AMSOIL Synchro Mesh, and the bottle that I got, it was like a different color than I remember. So I'm not sure if that's the new one or if it was old stock, because it just never felt right ever since I put the new transmission fluid in, or since I got the transmission back. So what I did, I went and picked up some new fluid, and I actually got the Pennzoil Synchro Mesh because I couldn't find the AMSOIL online, at least at a decent price. I'm not gonna pay fucking $20 a bottle. It's no point. I got the Pennzoil for I think $8 a bottle. You need 3 of them because it's really like 2.3 quarts. So I'm gonna try that out. If it doesn't do good, then I'll put the AMSOIL back in, because I already cleaned off a little oil drain pan. So I'm gonna save that oil because it only has like 600 miles on it. And if the same issues arise, or the issues still persist, I'm gonna go ahead and put that AMSOIL back in, or shit, just leave the freaking Pennzoil back in there, because doesn't make a difference. But I'm also going to try to cut this down so I can get a little more precise, because it does have a little wobble on this. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. I'm just going to cut it down a little bit, and that's that. Hold on. So that's uploaded. I cycle the key on, cycle the key off, cycle it back on. And she's running. So to data log and to see what your car is doing, you go to this yellow lightning bolt, and then that brings up all of your stuff. And then to record, you hit that record button. I am not going to do that at the moment because I do not care. And you can see right here I have my short term fuel trim, and that will be high because it's still cold. It's only 127. So once it warms up, that should come back down. And personally, I don't like my fuel trims to be, for daily driving and closed loop, I don't like them to be anywhere above 3%. I believe I have it set all the way up to, I want to say 20%. So the computer, I allow the computer to adjust up to 20% fuel trims. If it's ever at that 20%, that's way too high. So like I said, while I'm in throttle, normal driving, I don't like to see anywhere above 3. Really, I like to stay like at 1. But sometimes there's different fuelings and everything, so different qualities of fuel, you know, different gas stations that you fill up at. And like I said, I run a E30, E35 blend, so it's never 100% the same fuel. And then there's always the variation of fuel, so it's always going to differ. And the great thing, people always get scared, they're like, oh, I can't run an ethanol blend. You can run a blend. You can actually run straight E85 if you wanted to, because the computer will adjust for it if you needed it to. But obviously the smart thing is, if you're going to run E85, even on a stock fuel system like I am, you can do it. You're just going to run out of fuel system a lot sooner. So any like small mods that you do, you'll probably end up running out of fuel system. The highest duty I see so far has been 63%, I want to say, and that was at like 72, 7300. And I do have 410 RDX injectors in here, but that's just something to, you know, keep in mind if you're going to run an ethanol blend or whatnot. The computer does adjust for it for the most part, but ultimately you do want to tune for it. Something new I'm trying out, I didn't mention, I have I'm actually doing a headset right now. So I have I guess it's called a headset, I don't know. It's going to allow me to obviously, you know, work with my hands and get you guys a better picture of what's going on. Also, I'm going to try to keep it in the car, because randomly sometimes I do get some runs. Like the other day I got a run with a new Honda Accord 2.0 turbo that was tuned. I was actually surprised that I got him, to be honest with you. Well, I wasn't surprised that I got him. I was surprised at how quick his car was. We were coming off an off-ramp and he just fucking gunned it, and he was gone like a bat out of hell. And I was like, holy shit. And so I was already in second. I just punched it. So he put about probably 3 or 4 cars on me. It took me all the way through second into third just to get to his back bumper, and then through third I came by, and then like I look over and we're both staring at each other. So through third, I'm passing him. I hit fourth, and I'm just barely out in front of him in fourth. And then through fourth, I put like another 2-3 cars on him easy. And I stopped at like 130, and then he did the racer flyby because he was still in it. I just stopped at 130. But those cars are definitely quick, guys. And you got to remember that those are the those 2.0s are the same cars, or the same motor that the Civic Type R have. So you can do a lot with that freaking car, man. Once you get it tuned, it really opens it up. And I would assume that car was probably 300 plus. So 300 wheel horsepower, 300 torque plus. You know, that's not a hard figure or anything like that. So don't mind me while I'm sitting here restocking all my shit. But like I was saying, this new headset should allow for me to possibly get those runs on video, because I did have some people, you know, doubting me on Instagram, on IG. I was like, dude, are you serious? I was like, it's a fucking J32 dual throttle body intake manifold. you know, 5-inch intake. It is still tuned for nitrous, meaning I have colder plugs in it. I am running a little more fuel than normal NA, but I found the car likes to run at around 12.8. But anyways, ported, polished, decked J37 heads, stage 2 cams, 11:5 compression, LSD, RPF wheels, you know, the list goes on and on. Fresh J32 with like 27,000 miles on it. I wasn't surprised, but I mean, I had some people doubting me that I actually even beat the 2.0 turbo. I mean, my car weighs less. I mean, there's a bunch of things that you got to factor in. It's not all engine power, you know what I mean? Like, you got to factor in weight. I have trans mounts that eliminate, you know, wheel hop. I barely spin at all. Even between gears now with the LSD, I really don't spin at all, you guys. NA, that is. I'm sure that's gonna be a different story when I go turbo, but I want to run it on nitrous. I think I'm gonna open the bottle in the next day or two and see what she feels like on nitrous. I think the clutch is pretty much broke in, ready to go, so I think we'll be okay. Like I said, I think I should be around 700 or 800 miles on that clutch already. So we should be all right. But anyways, here are the runners. I should have these done within the next week or two. If you guys are watching, thank you to the 2 pre-orders that I have. I really appreciate your guys' business. I will be having more parts or more runners for sale in the future, but at the moment 2 sets are taken, so I have another 2 sets that will be available. And then I have some A1, as you can see. These are for the J32 A1s, or the 6th gen Accords, or the 2nd gen TLs, or the CLs. These are those runners. So if you know anyone that needs them, or even like the older J35, basically these runners, the older style, will fit any vehicle, any J series that has the traditional headers. So not the single exit, but the traditional individual tubes coming out from each cylinder port. That's what the older style runners will be compatible with. So if you know anyone that needs them, or if you need them, I have 1 set of the older ones, and then I'll have 2 free, I'll have 2 open, or 2 available of the newer style runners. Now getting into a little more here, what I want to do, I'm going to pull all of these. And what this is, guys, this is a Wi-Fi or a Bluetooth. It's more of a Wi-Fi because you actually hook via Wi-Fi. Bore scope. So I'm actually going to go in there and I'm going to check, just in case, to make sure the same thing is not happening to this motor that happened to that motor. I want to make sure that the valves are not contacting the pistons. As you can see there, it was carving out reliefs. You can see there, and then you can obviously see what happened to this fucking guy. The valve just hit a little too hard on that guy and just took him out. I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, it's pretty fucking gnarly in there. So that's what I'm gonna do with this, you guys. Pretty cool. I think it was, I want to say 20 bucks on eBay, but it's a great tool to have. Hopefully it comes out clear. I already tested it and it's pretty clear up to, like, it does, obviously it's not clear the further out you go, but the closer you get, I mean, once you're like 1 or 2 inches away, that shit is like crystal clear. And it also has a pretty bright, there we go, pretty bright LEDs on it, so I can see down in there. So I'm gonna get this hooked up and get started. I don't know, I think I might have hit my head on here and it pressed the button on the front of the camera. But anyways, guys, I got the bore scope out, ready to go. I got my first plug pulled. It looks great. It looks actually very, very good. Exactly what I would want to see in a spark plug. To get this thing going, it's very easy. You turn it on, you go into your Wi-Fi, you click the YPC or whatnot, and then you go into the app that they have. The app is a image kit, and then there it is. So as you can see, as I move, the camera's moving. So let's go ahead and go in there together, you guys. Let's put this down right here. Let's see where I don't know, we can flip it. So if I look here like that, so you can actually flip it. Let me see. So that's obviously upside down. Here we go. There we go. So that is right side up. So let's go ahead. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy into the bore. First time I'm using it on an actual application, so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. You can learn while I'm learning. I don't know how much I actually need, so I'm just gonna do. Fuck, come on. If I didn't say it before, you guys, or if it didn't record, I am letting the trans fluid drain right now, and when it was draining out, I put the flashlight on it, and I could see a shitload of shavings, you guys. Not good. Well, not a shitload. I saw quite a bit, more than I want to see. And like I said from the beginning, I've had issues since it's been installed. Once I got it back from the fucking mechanic, it hasn't been shifting right. But all right, here we go into the bore. What do I have the cover on there? I don't have any cover. It's going down in there. Let's see if I can put a cover on it. If there is a cover for it. I don't think there is. Alright, fuck it. It's just going in. It's just going in. I'm gonna sand it. Alright, so let me make sure it's right side up. It is. Alright guys, here we go. See if I can get in there. Shit. The fuck did I get in there? I see. There we go, we're in. There's the piston. Ooh, yeah, baby. Alright, now let's look around. I don't see anything terrible, which is good. Let's go in a little further. Can you guys see this? I hope you can. Alright, so that's that. I'm not seeing anything. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. There's no carving. I don't know if you can see this. This is the recess. Let me see where you guys are at. Alright, so that's the recess in the piston. That part right there is this right here. And as you can see from the camera, there is zero carving right there. So now I need to try to see the other side if I can, which is making it very fucking hard to do. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Here we go. Alright. Oh, I'm back out. Alright. So, how would I do this? So, if that's right side up, I am looking at that side. I want to look at... Oh, you know what? I bet you that fucking piston is... Is it at the top or the bottom? Alright, let's go ahead and try another one. Let's get this guy out. Something I remembered, this kit comes with a mirror. Look at that. So it reflects onto that mirror and then you can see it. So let me see if I can actually see. I'm going to give this one last shot and see if I can actually see what's going on there. So if that's straight down, because I want to see the other side of the piston just to make sure. So let's see. Alright, that's in. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Yeah, this isn't really... Oh, wait. What's that? Where am I? Oh, that's the very bottom there. So here we go. If I can rotate around. Nope. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at there. Maybe that's something. Nope. Alright. Like I said before, I'm confident that if this one's not fucked up, then it's not going to be. Alright guys, I'm sorry, I'm all over with this fucking video. I just realized I do need to see that other side, or the side away from the from the engine block, because that is the exhaust side, and the exhaust side is actually what was contacting. So if you see here towards the middle of the motor, that's the intake side, and you can see it was actually hitting a little bit on the intake side too, but it was really hitting on the exhaust side. So it's a good sign that there's no damage on the J32 pistons, because it was contacting the intake side. But as you can see here, what was really getting fucked up was the exhaust side. So I do need to see that exhaust side. I don't know, that is either really clean right there or it's a contact. I cannot tell. That's a contact right there. Shit. Okay, so you can see right here, that is a contact. That's a contact. Okay. Fuck. That's a tiny little contact right there. I don't know, you guys can probably see that right there. It's a little bit of a contact. So let's go back around. But the thing I do not see, you guys, is shavings, which is good. If it contacts just a hair, so that's shaving out. So what you can see, the big difference in this, you can see all these little shavings around, right there, especially right there. I mean, you can see the chips, and I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that in here. So it does look like, and you guys got to remember, I'm revving this bitch out to like 74. Fuck. All right. Is that indeed is yep, that's a fucking shit. That is a little tiny touch, but on the other side, let's see if it has it on the other side. It does not. Huh. So only that one valve right there barely touched it. Obviously that's not good, guys, but it's also not terrible, because that is a bare, that's a skim right there. That is not a hard hit, that's a skim. And then if you look over here on this side, you don't see none of that. And then let's see here. And then this guy, shit, nope, that is the piston. The piston's all the way up on that guy. And then this guy has nothing here. There's no scrape on this guy at all. So I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna say that's fine. All right, so I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're good. Obviously that little skim is not a good thing, but it's not even that. It's like barely, it's not even what that is. It's barely anything. This is the issue. That's a big issue. This is a slight issue, but not a huge issue. And like I said, I don't see any material in the cylinder. I don't see any material in the cylinder. So I'm gonna keep checking these. I'm gonna keep checking these cylinders, you know, every month or so, or every other week, and make sure that nothing crazy has happened. Yeah, because look, I mean, that's fine. There's not a mark. So out of all three of these, the only one that I found a slight little touch was this one, which is kind of odd, but you never know. I mean, even with valve springs, there may be one spring that may not have the same tolerances as the other, or the same spring pressure. It might be slightly off, so that might be what we're seeing. But like I said, the key is there's no shavings at all in there like there was there. But I'm gonna keep an eye on it just to make sure, and I'm probably gonna set my red line to 72. I do not want to over rev it because it is a high lift and a high duration cam. I might have just went a little too far with this cam, and you guys got to remember these heads, they were milled 20 thou. 40 thou bumps it a full point in compression. They had to do 20 thou because the heads were so warped from being on my old block. They were on the J30 for a little while. I took them off and then they were just sitting around. They weren't exactly sitting level or flush with the ground. They were actually like propped up and shit, so that kind of, it could have just threw it off a little bit, who knows. But they had to take more out of that. They had to take more out of the heads than I wanted, but whatever. Like I said, I'm gonna keep an eye on this and make sure everything's all right. So now we move on to the trans fluid. Obviously it's not going to be a copper look, it's going to be more of a silver metallic look. So if there is any, I'm going to pick it up with this guy. Actually, you know what, let me use this guy. Fuck it, let me use this guy. So I'm going to clean this off and then I'm going to run it through there and I'm going to see what it picks up. If it picks up anything, who knows? Maybe that's just the way the fucking the fluid looks. I don't think it is, but we will see. Just go ahead and do this. You see the different colorings in there, you guys? It might just be dirty, you know, honestly. I don't know. I've changed it a few times and I don't ever remember seeing it look this color. It definitely has some kind of impurities in there. Something is making it look different, I can tell you that much. What it is, I don't know. Hopefully my magnet is picking something up. No, you guys, maybe it's just fucking dirty. Maybe that's just dirty. Look at that. There's nothing on there. There's very, very little of anything on there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not much of anything on there. Maybe it is just fucking dirty. That's the way it looks. You know what, maybe it is. Maybe that trans fluid that I got was super old that they sold me, because I bought it on eBay, and like I said, the bottle looked different for some reason. It just didn't seem right to me, and looking at this, it just looks weird. Doesn't it look weird to you guys? Doesn't that look weird? If anyone can comment and let me know what you think this is and why it looks this way, that would be great, because it's not picking up any metal shavings at all. There's nothing in there. So what I'm thinking is it's just dirty ass fluid. The trans was out. It did get worked on, so maybe that's what we're seeing, and then also maybe it was old trans fluid. Yeah, guys, there's like barely anything on there. If anything, there's barely anything. So I'm fucking happy with that. That's a good thing. So to review what we've seen so far, out of 3 cylinders, only one piston has one little mark on the piston, meaning that the valve slightly grazed the piston. All the other ones are 100% perfect. I am going to lower my red line to 7200 instead of 75. Hopefully that will help limit the valve travel. But these are busy motive springs, so they said they're rated to 9200. It might be that the lift is just a hair too high for these for the pistons, and you got to remember that the heads are decked slightly. They're decked a good amount. They're decked 20 thou, which was more than I wanted. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to keep checking the cylinders with the bore scope, you know, every other week, just to make sure everything's good and there's no shavings in the cylinder head or in the cylinders. And then here, everything checks out with the trans fluid, you guys. The only other thing I have left is to cut down my shift lever a little bit, but I'm not gonna take you on that journey. It's very quick, very straightforward. So guys, if you like the video, please thumbs up, please share. I'm hoping to grow this channel if I can. Anybody that loves Hondas, J series, Ks, all that, I mean, you guys can always learn something new from what I'm doing. I like to teach, and if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, please. Thank you again. Thank you for watching Halferland videos. Take care.